Welcome back to an episode of Dead Money Trade. Today we're going to be going over some assets that we've covered in the past. We haven't made a video since last Thursday. Today is Tuesday, April 9th. And we kind of need to catch up a little bit what's been going on. So for Bitcoin, we had fallen down from the 71.5K level, 71,000, into the $65,000 range. We had talked about whether this might potentially be putting in a higher low. And we kind of drew this little wave structure here on what could possibly happen. Could we come back, retest all-time highs, and then if we fail to break all-time highs, come back and make another higher low, which would still be a bullish scenario. And it looks like we're starting to see that. Now, I haven't altered this at all, but let's get rid of this so that we can see this a little bit clearer. I don't know if this is going to put in a higher low, but we have some good things going for us. Here on the 4 hour, the 200 moving average on the 4 hour is kind of being used as support right here. Of course, we only have one 4 hour candle on this, but we bought up the lows of the day. Tomorrow is CPI, so inflation data for consumers. That's what we're going to be getting tomorrow. Now, if that comes in light and cool, well, that could be very bullish for the markets. We'll switch over to the SPY in a second, but I think if we get a better than expected CPI print, there could be some volatility tomorrow, but I think if it comes in better than expected, then this might put in another higher low, and we could be retesting all-time highs really soon. Okay, we got as close on the highs on Monday, which was yesterday, to 2% away from all-time highs. Less than 2% away. We closed, though, about 6% away, I believe. Yeah, we closed 3% away. Today's a red candle on the day. It looks like it might be a bearish engulfing candle, but as long as we are above 50 on the RSI, we're in the bullish control zone on the daily here. The weekly time frame is still ultra bullish, so we haven't even come into the bullish control zone. We're like technically overbought. And on the monthly, we are also still overbought at 74 RSI. This line is supposed to be the halving, but it's a little bit on the monthly is kind of weird because our halving, I guess we can talk about that too. The halving is it not? Oh yeah, the halving is on 420. I gotta make different lines for every time scale, but not too far from the halving. A lot of people think maybe there's a correction going into the halving. We've really been in this tight range from 60 to all-time high 73, 74,000, and just been kind of ping-ponging. But we are making higher lows, which is a good thing. Maybe we get another higher low here, and tomorrow can break all-time highs. But we'll see. The daily histogram hasn't even turned positive yet. So once this turns green, I'm thinking we will be on our way to all-time highs. And we've kind of reset this RSI here on the daily. So let's switch over to the S&P 500, which has been getting a little heavy up here. We had a huge sell-off on that Thursday we talked about, and then we did talk about a potential recovery in the short term at least, and then we weren't sure whether we'd be seeing all-time highs for a couple weeks. Now, I don't know. Now that to see the reaction today, intraday, and to see that we really aren't far off from all-time highs or 1%. I mean, we can move 1% in a day. So if CPI comes in really cool tomorrow, I mean, we could be back at all-time highs literally by the end of the day tomorrow or the end of this week. But it is we are kind of getting lower highs here, if you can see. this up a little bit. Getting some lower highs. So until we make a higher high, who knows what's going to play out. If you notice too, I try not to take a certain direction one way, although on Bitcoin I'm biased to the upside, but you know, try not to take too much of a position one way or the other, um, because I want you to make your own decision. This isn't necessarily gonna be a follow account where I spoon feed you plays. Now, if you see a chart on here and you like it, then by all means buy it. But you've got to do your own research. This is completely educational purposes. I'm not providing any financial advice on this channel. So do your own research, and the best of luck to you. Now, on the 1 hour, we're kind of finding support on the 200 moving average. Let's see what the daily looks like here. And of course, those curves are going to look weird. I should have locked them for the interval. Yeah, this is kind of like a hanging man, but this chart's been so bullish. There has really not been too much that can stop this market. I think what could stop this market dead in its tracks, if tomorrow's CPI is hot. If the CPI is hot, then we might see a sell-off. We might see a lower low, and that could be an indication of a trend, not a trend reversal, but just a trend pause. Let's go back to the 1 hour for a second. So histogram's not really telling us anything. We did get a buy signal on the RSI today. On the 4 hour, our histogram is red, not yet positive, or green. And on the daily, yeah, we're not green on the histogram yet. Tough one to call. Tough one to call. Some other assets we've looked at. Hood has been looking really good. It looks like it's consolidating in an uptrend. So bullish consolidation up here. I am bullish on this stock. Square is another one that I've been looking at or really invested in myself. Looks almost like a huge inverse head and shoulders, if you can see it here on the daily. So this looks like it's about to flip into a bullish trend. MicroStrategy has cooled off. There's been a lot of shorting going on MicroStrategy because of the premium on its Bitcoin holdings. If Bitcoin does well, though, I think this could continue the uptrend because this is obviously a Bitcoin play. The histogram on the daily looks like it's wanting to round out, and that could at least stop the selling pressure. And then on here you can see the halving is a couple days away, I think 10 days at this point, and it did move up a little bit. It was April 22nd, but now it's the 20th with it. I guess we can't get on this chart because this is a traditional stock. But MicroStrategy was trading in the 2000s not too long ago. To get back up there, we need to see a 35% gain. Wow. But I think if Bitcoin does well, this could do well. The Bitcoin miners have not been doing very well at all. They've been getting sold off. This is an ETF by Valkyrie Fund. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. I think you have CleanSpark, which insiders sold, and then they diluted shares to buy more mining equipment. And that's kind of the danger of holding these miners as proxies. So everyone's buying Bitcoin ETFs now. They don't want exposure to the miners, but the thing with exposure to the miners gives you is exponential returns. On the last bull run, let's see, the halving was like in May of 2020. I mean, CleanSpark was super cheap back then, like $2, and it ran up to like 35. I mean, you can get, I think, let's just talk about where we're at right now. So right now, if we were to test all-time highs on CleanSpark, that'd be almost a 2x. If Bitcoin is gonna hit like 100K, I mean, this could double from here, CleanSpark, and just back to that ETF because this kind of represents all of them, so we don't have to go through every single one. Which they all kind of look kind of similar now. They're kind of beat down. Um, at the end of the last bull run, uh, this ETF was trading in the 30s, and I think this can get back up there, which would be um, a doubling from here. So, okay. What else? Save was an airline stock we talked about because they got news on Monday about some compensation that they're receiving from Boeing. It got a little shaky here. Got a little shaky. Oops. It got a little shaky because we made a new low last Friday. Okay, we made a new low. And sorry, not this Monday, but the Monday previous is when the news came out. So the news came out. It yeah, April 1st. It's kind of like it gapped up and then it sold off, and then tried to retest that bullish action, sold off again, made a lower low, but now it's back up to almost $5. Um, the 1 hour histogram is kind of looks like it's getting a little tired, but it could continue kind of grinding up here. We talked about potentially like a 520 target, and surprisingly, it looks like it might get there. Let's see the daily real quick. Daily, I think the moving averages are going to be way up here. I mean, in the weeks to come or months to come, the mean reversion play would be testing the moving average, but you know, you're just oversold in a downtrend. You're just oversold in a downtrend, and this stock is going through uh, mergers and a lot of news catalysts. The technicals on this one aren't going to be the easiest to play. Another stock we talked about was PayPal. PayPal is trying to push up. It looks kind of like Square, where you kind of have this big inverse head and shoulders, and I'm not sure exactly how I want to map this out, because it's kind of probably the weekly would look better here, but it's just been slow. It's just been slow, but I mean, you're in an uptrend now. You're making you're making higher lows. Did you make a higher high? You made a slightly higher high. Okay, and it looks like it's gonna do it again. Makes another higher high. We're good to go. I think talks about 80 being a possibility by the end of the year. I mean, maybe this could test 100 because it's got so much ground to cover, and it looks like the 200-day moving average is starting to curl up. So this is a good thing. You want to see this 200-day moving average start to curl up, maybe be used as support, and this is the first time like staying above it, like staying above it, not going up and going down. First time staying above it in a while, like since before the reversal in 2021. So PayPal looks good. PayPal looks good. Trying to think if there's anything else we missed. I think we're gonna leave it at that. Nvidia maybe is an interesting one to look at because it looks like it's getting a little tired. We have talked about this on the channel before. I think CPI tomorrow. Like if you're playing short term, you want CPI to be cool if you want this to go back up. But God, it does look heavy here. It does look heavy, but it has had times where it's consolidated for a long time. Like when it broke above 400. I mean, like what was this like? Yeah, almost 6 months of consolidation. So it could trade sideways here and just kind of ping pong around, and then maybe break out towards the end of the year. We'll have to see. And they have earnings coming up May, so it's kind of far away. But um, Intel got hammered because of some news, and now they are at one green day. And there is this trend line that we have back from February. Um, so maybe it puts in a higher low, continues the uptrend, but Intel has not been doing as well as Nvidia and AMD. AMD kind of has what looks like a blow off top here. Um, Interesting, but it's trying to hold support here at the 160 level, which is previous all-time highs. We've talked about this idea on the long term of SPY using previous all-time highs as support. And man, if this is confirmed as support, it can continue the uptrend. So not bad, not bad. I think we're gonna leave it there for today. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below your thoughts, and I'll try not to take so long to market update. It was just a bit busy weekend. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys, and I will talk to you all later.